Have you ever caught yourself thinking about how things could be different if you'd taken better care of yourself earlier or many, many years ago? That can be a heavy thought. I mean, sometimes it shows up when you feel tired for no reason, when a health scare makes you rethink your choices, and that feeling of regret can sneak in and convince you that you missed your chance. Here's the truth. You cannot go back. We know that, but you can go forward in a way that changes everything. So we're going to talk about that today on today's podcast. And if you've been feeling stuck about where to start, or you're just worried that it's too late for you, that's where I was years ago, head over to talktoperry.com. In 15 minutes, we can map out a plan that helps you reclaim your energy and build momentum. That's over at talktoperry.com, just the way it sounds. And if you're watching on video, I've popped that in right there in the lower third. Easy to read, right? Regret. It often makes you look at the gap from where you are to where you wish you had been. And that gap, it can feel overwhelming. So let me give you some mindset stuff today. Instead of trying to close it all at once, focus on the choices right in front of you. Because health is built on what you do next, not on what you did before. I know we can reflect back on the good old days, right? But start with the basics. How much sleep are you getting? Are you moving your body every single day, or are you just kind of just sitting around? Are you moving your body even if you're just walking or stretching? And I don't want to minimize those. I love doing those. What about your meals? Are they giving you energy or are they draining it? I know some of this stuff can be kind of like a radical, honest assessment with yourself, but and some of them may seem super simple, but they're foundation. Without them, nothing sticks. Another thing to think about is stress. And I don't mean to like stockpile a bunch of things like, oh, I'm not doing this right. I'm not doing this right. I'm not doing this right. All it is a matter of awareness, saying these are things where I'm currently at. These are things that I can make a decision now to change and go in a different direction. So when you're talking about something like stress, that can take its toll on the body and the mind. So learning to manage it can be a game changer. And when it comes to stress, it might even just be cutting out what drains you, saying no to the things that don't fit, or giving yourself space to breathe during the day. I can already hear some of you right now going, yeah, right. I never have space to breathe, right? And mindset, it plays a big role because regret can keep you living in the past instead of looking ahead. And that's what you're wanting to do, right? You want to say, okay, I'm right at this point. How can I shift things moving forward? Because shifting your focus to what you can control today, it helps you rebuild confidence. Each choice you make now, it's a vote for the life you want. So I had two things that were big in my life. One, I had thought it was too late for me because I had seen the blueprint of unhealthy role models, friends, family, coworkers, of how life was going to be. And this is as I was approaching my late 30s, going into my 40s, and I was out of shape, overweight, overwhelmed. And so I was just at that point going, yeah, you're right. This is just the way life is. And then I started to question those things. So that was a big one. About a year after I got into getting a consistent routine going, I had lost my first wife. She was killed in a car crash, and that took me out of the game. And then there was a moment when I all of a sudden just kind of this moment of clarity of saying, how can I take control? What can I control when life seems so out of control? See, a lot of us, we give our power away to so many other things, and we don't even realize it. It's just it's just been habit. And I realized I can control the foods I bring into my house and eat, how I move my body, start focusing on my mindset, even when all these other chaotic things are going on. So taking action now, it doesn't mean pushing yourself to extremes. It means creating the habits that you can keep. And so that was one of the things I set out to do, is like, what are the habits that I can do today? And then being really aware of those moments when I was trying to talk myself out of things or negotiate or move away from my goals or point and blame something else of why I couldn't achieve and go after the goal I was at. And then I would pivot toward the goal. So it was just being really aware of the habits I had gotten into of blaming too much work, blaming a commute, blaming, I've got so much going on with a dog rescue, blaming that I've got this much going with my own home business. And I was a full-time teacher too. And it would have been easy to just say, well, see, there's a reason why you can't do this. Nope. I set that aside and I did things anyway. See, the energy, strength, and clarity that you want, they're just another way, another side of consistency, being like consistent decisions that really fit your real life, not somebody else's routine. And hey, I encourage you, if you do want support with that kind of plan, even creating it for yourself, head over to talktoperry.com. That's where we'll look at where you are, where you want to go, and set a clear path moving forward for something that actually works for you. See, the past does not get to decide what happens next. You do. Regret, it can either keep you stuck or it can be a wake-up call, right? Every day that you wait, well, that's another day that you could be feeling better, stronger, more like yourself. So just know you can choose to use your power, take control, and really, really start to dial things in, or you can let the distractions, the excuses, justifying things, blaming things, comparison, all that stuff control you and drain your power. It really boils down to deciding and committing to yourself and your goals, then taking action on them and deciding and looking at new ways, looking at possibilities, learning and growing, and keep moving forward. You've got this, my friend. I'd love to hear your top takeaway from today. You can drop those down in the comments. I will reply, I promise. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear, what's going on. I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day, I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness. I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff. And we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to upsidedownfit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find the show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.